Hey there. In this lesson, I'd like to share a little experience that I got from the small project which I've done recently. The main goal was to make breaking chocolate into pieces in a slow-mo way, so it like breaks and freezes uh, in slow motion. So if I play it like it breaks and slowly keeps on moving, spreading apart. Um, so it was quite tight on deadline, so um, I didn't use any dynamic simulation, always done procedurally. So here I prepare the scene. There's a chocolate, there's a caramel, there is some peanuts. Well, what I did first, I cut out my caramel from the chocolate, so when I split it apart, I could see this layers of chocolate and caramel. Next, what I did, I created a line, and there's a small expression that allows me to center my line, and from this point I can do a little adjustment. I need 3 points to cut it into pieces. I use grid as a cutter. Let's copy our grid. So here is the cutters, and I can do smaller. Okay, now I will use these planes as okay, the operation going to be shatter, and I use the color exploded view node just to see how it looks. Okay, so here are 4 pieces. I cut my caramel and chocolate separately because there may be need like to have the caramel stand out a little bit, just to have that natural look of broken chocolate. So here I cut the caramel color. And now see our 4 pieces of our chocolate. Okay, from here I can add some details to my colors, add some irregularity to have different cuts. 2.5, And also I can use mountain after. Okay, it seems like the amplitude is quite big on the stage. Okay, next, what I'd like to do, so I have two types of geometry, so I'll add a sort, and I use x-axis. Also, I'll add a connectivity swap. Why I'm using this at the moment, because I want to control each piece separately, so I could isolate both pieces. That's why I'm creating a sort, so I could sort vertices or polygons primitives on the x-axis, and also separated on the class basis, so I could extract each piece. So if I now add a blast, and I'll do at class equals 0, not selected. Let's see, class primitive. Sort by X. Okay, so you see I have extracted one piece of the whole chocolate. I'll do the same, like 1, 2, and 3. I'll merge them together. Okay, and I'll add this explode node here. So I'll add the blend shape, and now I can play with my chocolate separation value. Okay, so let's assume I'll start frame 5, chocolate breaks. Okay, let's make it 0.5 key, and then like for 2 seconds, 2 or 3 seconds, slowly spreads apart. Yeah, we can. So now having that, I can add transform node. On each piece, and let's assume that my camera is here. Just put some camera. Okay. And I want a little choreograph my pieces. So I'll do a center pivot on the piece. Right. Somewhere here. The second one, general pivot. Maybe here. Center pivot. All right, and the last one. Right, forgot center pivot. Centering pivot is simple expression, and the pivot translate parameter. Okay, let's add some rotation, maybe here. Okay, and we have a crack. Let's slowly even more. Just so you have some impact. Okay, next one is small pieces around broken areas. So what I used a simple sphere, nothing fancy, and simply Okay, I also 5 animated. So I will animate it like from 0, 0, something like that, and also yeah, like let's add some mountain. Reproducibility, and yeah, we also can play with the amplitude like on frame 5. There's increase. Okay, it's too big. So explode, break, and expand. Expanding too far, I think. Okay, then I simply copied everything. Okay, I merge everything now. Also, I can add some variation, but I think I have animation, so I'll add a separate mountain, and also I can play with the transforms as well, just to make it a little different. Maybe these parts are smaller, this one is maybe bigger, like it's central. This one. Now scatter and expand. I think I can scatter this before. Let's see what's happening. Even. Or I can do a time shift. I can actually add the scatter node at the very beginning, but then I think I will have to rethink how to, or just turn the animation off on the mountain node. So here what I can do, I can simply use an attribute interpolate node, and what it does, it allows you to lock your points onto geometry, into animated geometry. All right, now it's okay, so something like that. So I use this point to scatter some chocolate and nuts pieces. So what I did next, I used delete just to split them. Expression and points. Use modules by 2 equals 0. And there is delete non-selected. So what I did next, I there is a model of a peanut, so I use Boolean fracture to make small pieces of that irregular shapes. I use a grid as cutter. Copy 2 points. Okay, there's a lot of points. We use like 25. It's enough. And 1.5. Yes. Now also use attribute randomize on the points and use a normal inside sphere. Exploded view just to see. Well, I think that's too much. Also, let's use a mountain. and 10 pieces. It's still too much. 7. Okay, at this point, I'll try to get rid of the small pieces, which may slow down my working progress. So I use measure soft, and it gives me area attribute. Then I'll use an attribute promote to promote my area attribute on the chunk pieces, not on the every primitive, but the individual piece that I have. Okay, this way I can delete by expression, like add area is bigger than 0.1. Let's see. No select. Cam 1, 1. Okay, let's okay, so here I have bigger chunks, and I deleted all the smaller chunks that I had. Next, I will randomly copy pieces on the points. So I'll use the copy to points, and for each point and fetch input. See what we have. Okay, so at this point you see I copied all the geometry, all the pieces on each point. I'd like to separate them. So I'll create a meta node, name it like M1. Okay. Next, I'll add the connectivity. So connectivity. Okay, if I look at my spreadsheet, I have 13 pieces, and it has a class attribute, which I'm going to use. I'll use a blast. And I'll use class equals tail duration. Okay, why is it not working? Have a class tails, maybe. This attribute. So point detail. Okay, as you see, I've copied randomly pieces onto the points, and seems like points are quite big. Let's add some random scale random. Okay. Also, what I forgot to do, I need to center all of the pieces. So I'll use for each let's say name primitive, and I'll use a transform with how to center. So all of my pieces are centered now. Then I simply used the expression with inverted transformation. Let's check. Let me add some randomization to it. random and do multiply on 15. Save. Okay, now it's correct, because we had a lot of points and it seems like it simply copied it 12 times, as many as um, we had the pieces. So now it's correct. Okay, now I can pack at this moment, I think, just or else just for the sake of this tutorial, and maybe I'll use like 50 maybe, or 100 of those pieces. Let's do 150. Yeah. Also, I'll use attribute randomize. It's normal. Okay. And for example, while they're expanding, I want them I want pieces to spin. So what I can do, I can use an attribute warp and use a quaternion normal as the axis, and orient attribute just like for float vector, and time at the spinner. Yeah. Okay, let me merge our result, see what we get. Find out through my camera. Okay, I see there is some mistake. It's probably I'm using scale 0, which is, I think, not desirable. If I, for example, just slightly increase that, something like 0.1, very small value. Also, I can simply animate my p scale, say, and 5. Let's say 1. It's 0.8. Okay, and I simply just um, okay, and just to add, Houdini 19.5 uses like for each method to do copy stamping. Before it was like copy stamp node, which for me was quite convenient and easy to use. But I don't know, maybe this gives more productivity. Well, you can also use switching method instead, like to use the switch node and use also the iteration attribute to randomly place your geometry. Yeah, I will not go through making a chocolate pieces because it's the same workflow as I did with peanuts. Well, that's all I wanted to say for this tutorial. I simply do as like 75 size. So this method allowed me to quickly set up and finish the work in almost like few hours or so. It adds flexibility, customization, and you are not spending a lot of time to do simulation with a lot of sub steps and then retiming it. And then when there's some changes, you have to redo everything again. So for the fast small projects like this, I think it's convenient to use some fast methods. Maybe they're not um, a correct way, a perfect way to do things, and Houdini allows you to do a lot of things, solve problems, and like in a lot of ways. So well, that's all I wanted to share with you in this tutorial. I hope everything was clear, and it was valuable information for you. Well, thank you for your attention, and bye.